And a symbol is like, for example, last night I had a dream about a wedding dress and the zipper broke on the wedding dress. So I chose to embody the person who was wearing the dress and who was freaking out that the zipper
Right.
wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So that means that I imagined that I was this person and that the zipper was mine and I could feel it. And so I was imagining.
Right.
So as I was telling my husband about it, I was imagining what it would be like to be so stressed. I'm about to walk down the aisle. My dress isn't zipping up. Oh my God. And so feel it in your body, what it would be like to be the skateboard, the AI, or I don't know, AI doesn't feel that much except for the AI that you're working on, or the glass of water.
Right.
Like just allow yourself to put it in your body, feel it, and then speak from that perspective. So I am the broken zipper.
Right. Well, Kelly, thank you so much for coming out.
I am so honored.
Yeah.
Ian, thank you so much for having me.
Yes. Now, this has been a long time coming. And before we get started, I would like to thank our subscribers and listeners. Because of you guys, we've hit 50,000 subscribers. And
what?
more than 500,000 views on the TED Talk short. So
That's
thank you so much.
amazing.
And
Congratulations.
yeah, and this is actually my gift to all of you for supporting the channel. And I hope that this conversation we're about to have will help you prepare for 2026. So to get started, I love to start with the hero's journey, Kelly.
Oh.
Love for you to share to our listeners your journey, how you got here, and we'll talk about the dragons you slayed along the way. But let's start with the hero's journey.
There's been a number of dragons, that's
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah.
But I first want to say, I will answer
Yeah,
that
of
question, but I
course,
just
go
want to say it's so wonderful to be here
Oh,
at the
thank you.
Kin,
Yeah.
where it all started,
all
where
started,
we
yeah,
met doing
yeah.
the TEDx
Yes.
with you, Kat Morenzi, and all the other folks. And I don't think I could have pulled off my TED Talk if it wasn't for you. So
Thank you.
I mentioned when I interviewed
Yeah.
you that you're the same behind the scenes and in front of the scenes, kind, generous, helpful. I literally was not able to handle the clicker to move the slides. And I'm like, I'm just going to ditch it. And you were like, no, you worked so hard on those slides.
Right.
If you didn't do it,
Yeah.
I would have, I don't know, I was about to lose my mind. But you saved it. You saved my TED Talk. I will always be so grateful for you.
thank
You
you.
were so helpful. You had your own thing to do, but there you were worried about mine as if it was yours. In that same spirit. So anyway, you are just, so all of y'all subscribers are in good hands with Mr. Ian Slade.
Thank you. Yeah, it was wonderful to get through that. It was only less than a minute, but it felt like eternity.
Yeah.
Because remember, you're like, I need water. I don't know what to do.
Oh my God.
You froze.
And I'm like, oh, and I'm having a hot flash. Oh my God. So I had people backstage fanning me off, getting me water. And
Right.
Was I Cleopatra in a past life?
That's
Probably.
right. Probably.
Okay. Speaking of hero's journeys.
Yeah.
Okay. So the hero's journey, by the way, Joseph Campbell, props to you. When I first heard about the hero's journey, by the way, everything in my life made sense. I had such an epiphany.
Right.
I was actually on an airplane. I started sobbing my head off. The lady next to me was like, oh dear, do you need some tissue? I'm like, no, this is a good cry. Because I felt like all of my difficulties were not for naught. And one thing I learned from just The Power of Myth and The Hero with 1,000 Faces is that often we set out on a hero's journey. We think we're going to do something special with our lives. And we think it's going to be just laden with rose petals and all beautiful things. We don't expect that there will be difficulties. And so the hero's journey has like just that context. It makes, it dignifies the difficult moments that happen along the way. So I don't know how to answer the question about my hero's journey. I'll just say that
let's start with your childhood. Tell us a
when I
little
was
bit more.
young, I've got 4 sisters. My sister closest, no brothers, just sisters. My sister closest to me in age, Shannon, she and I shared a bedroom. Every time we moved, we always shared a bedroom, and we shared dreamscapes. So
Dreamscapes.
we would be in the same dreams at the same time often, and we still
What?
do to this day. We still have a very psychic connection, and our dreams were one way that we were able to really track it. So I remember
Wow.
there was my mom talks about walking into our bedroom in the middle of the night saying, "Girls, would you go to sleep?" Eh, Oh, they are asleep, but they're talking
What?
while they're asleep. And we would be in different universes, different spaces. We'd be talking to different people that we had never met in our waking life. And we would
Whoa.
share notes over breakfast, and that was, I thought that was just the most normal thing, but it turns out
Wow.
it's a phenomenon that a lot of twins experience, having
Mm.
tandem dreams. All I knew was it was a way that accentuated the magic of dreams.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let's break that down a little bit. When you say dreamscape, what does that mean?
So imagine, so for example, one dream that we both talk about is this one dream when we were little. It was around Halloween,
Okay.
and there was a castle
Okay.
with a moat, and there was a witch that was chasing both of us
Okay.
around this castle, the turrets and
Right.
all of that. So we both remembered being in the dream, seeing each other in the dream.
Right.
And then when we woke up, we compared notes, and we had both had the same dream. We had
Wow.
both been in that same dream with that same witch.
Well,
And what was special about that dream, and this is why nightmares are a big part of my
right.
business and my
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
because I see the value of the nightmare. So my sister and I talked
Mm.
about how if we knew it was a dream, we would gang up on the witch. We would throw the witch over the side. We would hide from her. And we both went back into the dream on another night and basically toppled the witch over the
Wow.
edge, and we were victorious in the
Wow.
dream. And you can do that. And there's a fancy term for it called imagery rehearsal therapy, IRT. And there's been tons of data, lots of studies at
Wow.
Harvard and
Yeah.
other sleep study
Right.
places that deal with people with post-traumatic stress
Right.
dreams, people, war veterans, and people that have been horribly harmed through rape or incest.
Right. Right.
And they have been able to take a nightmare
Right.
and make a plan for what they're going to do with it in their waking state. And
Wow.
even if they don't actually fulfill that in their dream state, the
Right.
fact that they've connected the synapses in their brain
Mm.
about like kind of giving the story a new conclusion, a new
Right.
narrative,
Right.
it seems to break the spell, and that those nightmares tend to stop within 1 or 2 or 3 sessions. With my sister and I, the witch never came back to bother us again.
Wow. Wow.
That's what got me started.
I was about to say, was this the genesis of
For sure.
your journey now? Yeah.
Yes, but like most people, I think Joni Mitchell sang the song Big Yellow Taxi. Don't it always seem to go? We don't know what we've got till it's gone. Pave
Right.
paradise, put up a parking lot.
Right.
I didn't know how good I had it. I didn't know how special
Mm.
that was. And there was a time, so my dreams were rich. My relationship with my sister, super rich, still is.
Right.
But then there was a time when I was in my early 20s. I went to Hollywood
Okay.
to be an actress,
Okay.
and I gave up all of those inner experiences I was having because they weren't all that mattered to me was getting the gig, getting the approval,
Right.
getting hired, getting
Right.
whatever. So I kind of became whatever you wanted me to be and
Mm.
stopped paying attention to what was actually going on in me.
Wow.
And that led me to a quarter life crisis where I
Mm.
felt like a big empty. I remember saying, I feel like a donut. I'm all frosty on the outside, but empty, hollow on the inside. And I
Wow.
had a suicidal moment where I literally couldn't stop thinking about the ways I would exit the planet because I was no longer
Wow.
there. And when I finally, thank God I didn't take my life, I always
Sure.
tell people don't give up 5 minutes before the miracle. I ended
Right.
up in 12-step programs, therapy,
Wow.
hypnosis, all kinds of shamanism, everything to get myself back. And my dreams started to come back to me
Mm.
because if you ignore them, they will ignore you. And they started to come back with fangs. And that was when I learned how to work with the dream outside of the dream and create a plan for what I would do. I kind of went back to when I was a little girl doing what I did naturally, which was redirect the dream so as to not be afraid of my nightmares. And then I realized I need to teach this to people. I need to share this because this is remarkable.
Yeah. So speaking about that, I'd love to go deeper into the work that you do now, the people you help, and the process that you go through.
Sure. Well, it's an interesting juxtaposition to be talking to you about this because I think of you as Mr. High Tech, Mr. AI,
Yeah.
and in many ways, dream work is very low tech.
Mm.
It's what our forefathers and foremothers used to do when they lived close to the earth. They wouldn't even think of beginning their day without paying attention to a dream.
Wow.
Because a dream would give you insight,
Right.
prophecy about what was to come, if there was going to be a famine, where to get the water, where to get the food, what plants to eat, what not to eat. Such a vital part of our survival that many of us that are high tech, we've lost track of. So in many ways, dreams are super low tech, but I think we need them so that we don't do what I did, which was pay so much attention to all the dazzle, all the sparkle, all the bling from the outer world and neglect what's happening internally. So you and I talked when I got to interview you about how you go deep. Your suggestion with people that are interested in AI is to go deep into a relationship with whatever AI you're using and let it evoke something from you. So I think that is the right use. And with dream work, a lot of people tell me, oh yeah, I ask AI about my dreams. I don't even who goes to Google anymore? It's like go straight to chat or straight to Grok, which is a great idea. However, my suggestion is go to yourself first. Just slow things down a little bit. I have my jet set dream interpretation formula, which I talk about in my TED Talk, which is called Don't Take Your Dreams Lying Down.
Beautiful
where you
title.
just run it through your own filter so you can get a sense of what your own intelligence, your own intuition is telling you. And then go check out all the AI and what AI has to say to amplify or to be an affirmation of what you already know, but you're not leaving your own intelligence out. So that's part of what I invite people to do. I'm not answering all your question, but
No. It's a great window into your world, and the reason why I wanted you to be the first gift to our subscribers is because exactly your point. In my world, everything is analytical, everything is zeros and ones, everything is very binary, black and white.
Yeah.
But I do believe that in order for us to come together, we need to go back to our more primitive tools. And hence my book was, Ancient Wisdom for the Modern Leader.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
Because it invites you to go back to ancient wisdom. And I think dreams, to your point, is a distillation of all of your experiences and your ancestors. There's this lineage, because there are dreams, and you know this more than I do. You wake up and like, what the heck was that? But it felt like a memory. It felt like I was that person, or I lived through that, but obviously it wasn't yours. So I think that dreams is the ability of those who came before us to connect with us in a way that AI never will.
Yes. Well, in some way we could say, what's the goal? What's at the mountaintop for all of us?
Correct.
We could say one perspective at the top of that mountain is us humans becoming fully realized, waking up to our full potential, maximizing the gifts we have, not saving that for a near-death experience, not having to die to wake up, but to have it while we're still in this skin, in these bones, and with in these bodies at this time. So AI can help us do that. But I believe our dreams can also help us do that. If you think about it, we sleep and dream for 1/3 of our lives. 1/3 of our lives is spent sleeping and dreaming. And most of us just write that off like it doesn't count.
Right.
We spend so much time focusing on what is logical, what we can see, what we can hear, what we can touch and taste. But why not maximize all of it?
Right.
Why not have all the conscious, like according to the American Hypnosis Association, they say that 88% of our, oh, let's go back, 12% of our mind's power is our logic, our reasoning, our rational thinking. That's 12% of our mind's power, whereas 88% of our power is subconscious. It's our dreaming mind. 88%. And that's what gets overlooked. So we are working hard on that 12%. No wonder we're exhausted. No wonder we have burnout. No wonder our cortisol levels are sky high. But what would happen if we maximized our resources? It's like we've all been given this great trust fund. And most of us just don't know the PIN code, how to open it up. But we've got these riches, and our dreams are giving. I mean, the dream I had last night, I was sharing with my husband on the way over here today, and even to me, Dr. Dream, the dream was cryptic and bizarre. It didn't make sense. It doesn't typically make sense to anybody, even frequent flyers like myself. And that's okay. Instead of shying away from it because it's bizarre, we should move toward it because it's bizarre and know that it's strange to not have a strange dream. So in talking about it, in applying, like practicing what I preach, going through my simple jet set dream interpretation formula, I was able to go, oh my God. And Dana was like, Kelly, this is so important. Like it so clearly highlighted what it was I need to focus on, what I need to stop doing. I mean, it's kind of an embarrassing dream. Maybe we can talk about one of yours. I'll share the dream if you want, but I don't know.
No, I find it so fascinating because I did study clinical psychology at one point. And when we got to Sigmund Freud, we were talking about dream interpretation and all of that. So I had a journal where I would, if I wake up, I would write my dreams and all of that. And I did that for about a year. And then everyone called me a weirdo. But
yeah, weirdo, just like Tesla. Yeah, just like Einstein. Yeah, it's a good club to be a member of.
But you start seeing patterns. And for me, it was falling was a huge pattern.
Ooh.
Being chased was a huge pattern.
Oh, wow.
And helping someone that I only know in my dream was a huge pattern.
Ooh.
Like I saw this person so frequently that it became familiar. I forget the name, but I could see it in my mind's eye right now. Male.
Older, younger.
Older, yeah. And we were both being chased, but I'm able to evade the folks that are chasing us. But then I would have Leo was his name in the
Leo.
dream. Leo, yeah. L-E,
oh, interesting.
And so I had to help Leo evade the people chasing him. And it got to a point wherein I'm like, no, don't turn left. You did that last time. Like it was like a continuity of a previous dream. And I started, having a relationship with Leo. And eventually we didn't have to run away from whoever it is I was chasing.
Oh, interesting. Oh, so, I love that.
Okay. And I, again, tell people about this and they're like, Ian, you need a girlfriend. No.
Yeah, well, what did you make it mean? Did you, besides the fact that you were able to figure out kind of a new way out of the maze?
Yeah, I think at the time, I was trying to figure out what to do with my life. And I felt the pressure of having to excel, having to perform, and I felt being chased by that.
Ooh.
Everyone's expectations of me. At the time, I had a scholarship for PhD in physics. I had a scholarship for medicine.
Oh my God.
And I was like top 30 youth in the country, so there's just like all this pressure to excel. But going back to your previous point, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so I felt being chased by all of these expectations. And when I said, I'm just going to try to figure out what comes natural and
Mm.
allow myself to make mistakes, that's when the chasing dreams ended for me.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you resolved it.
Yeah.
You resolved it in your conscious state, but
Right.
there's a feedback system. So
Yes.
it's what you do think about that's related to the dream.
Right.
It will change whatever happens in the dream. It's kind of like a recurring dream is
Right.
simply like the FedEx
Right.
person that's trying to deliver a message and you're
Exactly.
just not home. So
Yeah.
they keep leaving a little tag. But once you get the message, they can move on.
Yes. And funny enough that you mentioned that, because never really thought about this for decades now. But now that advice that I got from that dream is what I tell people.
To be natural and to follow the flow of what happens next.
And also be okay with all the mistakes that you're about to do.
Mm.
And for folks that, just finished college or just finished med school or law school, whatever it is, my advice is the next 2 years, you will make so many mistakes and it's okay.
Ooh.
Allow yourself to make those mistakes, learn from those mistakes, iterate, and know that this is the time to make all of those mistakes and it's okay. So no decision is wrong because you're in this rapid learning phase. And the folks that I've given that advice have come back after a few years and said, Ian, thank you so much for giving me the permission to fail.
There's such stigma around, you better get it right. And there's data out there about, like, if you try to do it perfect, you don't learn very much.
Right.
You just stay in a safe little bubble. But if I was on a TV show, on the Bethany television show. She was the one of the New York housewives.
Yeah.
And the producer came up to me in the green room before I went on, and she said, we have a motto around here. It's called Flossom. When something breaks, falls down, it's like the ratings go through the roof. So don't try to be perfect. Like, lean on screwing up. I was like, oh, but funnily enough, the more free I felt, and it did cause me to calm down. I didn't screw up. I was like, oh man, I didn't screw up. But there was there's such a oh, I hope I do screw up. I hope I do make a mess here, because that'll be cool. So that just creates this freedom and this learning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do get a lot of folks on LinkedIn that reach out from different countries saying, I just finished master's in molecular biology or whatnot. Should I jump into a PhD? What do you think? Because I signed up to be like a LinkedIn mentor or something.
Oh, wow.
What I advise people is, well, don't look at the life, look at the lifestyle. So if you decide to be a surgeon, you're also deciding to not sleeping 8 hours a day.
Yes.
If you decide to be, in the opera, you're also deciding to skip out on drinking after, because that's really bad for your vocal cords. So don't look at the life, look at the lifestyle and ask yourself, is the pain worth it?
Oh.
Right? So don't just look at the pleasure, look at the pain.
Oh.
And if the desire for the pleasure exceeds the pain, go for it.
Go for it, if it's the right kind of pain.
Right.
There's some kind of a Audre Lorde quote that says something about to pay attention to what you're doing in your present. It should look a lot like the way you want to feel in your future. Something like that. I'm definitely butchering it. But back to your dream, I'll just throw in my 2 cents.
Please,
if I may.
yes. Oh my God.
I would say everyone in the dream is an aspect of self. I borrowed that from the late great father of psychotherapy, Carl Jung. And so I would say if there's an older male in my dream, then that's the older male aspect of myself that might be wiser, might be, and even though he's being chased, I would also say that what's chasing me is myself, because there is no they, there is no them, there's just me right here,
There's
right
just
now,
I. Yeah.
from that kind of quantum physics
Right.
perspective. It's
Right.
all happening here. So
Right.
yes, there's parents and friends and
Right.
colleagues putting
Right.
pressure on, but nobody puts more pressure on me than I
Then
do.
you. Wow.
And
Yeah.
sometimes what I love about what you came to, the conclusion, is
Right.
very similar to what I came to, and because I also had a lot of chasing
Right.
dreams.
Yeah.
Mine were wolves. When I
Wolves.
say they
Wow.
came after me with fangs, I meant
Right.
it. There were
Wow.
started with one wolf, then
Right.
two wolves,
Right.
and I was always the master of escaping them
Right.
until at some point there were thousands of wolves, and
Wow.
I couldn't run anymore,
Right.
and I was exhausted. And so in my dream, I
Right.
decided to stop running,
Mm.
and I just was like, all right, go ahead. Do what you got to do.
Wow.
And I got pounced on by thousands of wolves, ripping
Wow.
my hair, pulling my skin, doing the things that
Wow.
wolves do.
Right.
And eventually they were done, and I emerged, still me, a little bit wonky
Sure.
looking,
Yeah.
but I was like, is that it?
Mm.
Oh my God. And I felt like I had become one of them. I felt like I had
Oh,
become
wow.
initiated
Right.
into some more feral, more primal
Right.
aspect of myself, no longer totally people pleasing, trying to
Right.
make everybody love me. It was like,
Right. Right.
I can be, it gave me something. What I was
Mm.
running from was
Right.
actually seeking to give me a gift.
Wow.
And when I think about that dream, I feel truly empowered.
Right.
So just like what you came to, like,
Right.
oh, I don't need to be afraid of what's chasing me.
Right.
What if I just turn and move toward it and say, give me your best shot?
Right.
Is that all you got? I mean, it's kind of
Right.
one tip for lucid dreamers, by the way, is to
Wow.
pay attention to those recurring nightmares, move toward it, and often that can be the springboard for some really cool lucid dreaming.
Wow.
But we could use it. I mean, we spend so much of our life dreaming, and we want to be better people in our waking life. So we can
Right.
use AI, but I would say let's not forget the dream wisdom.
Yeah. And tell us a little bit more about the book, because I think
Oh,
that it truly is a roadmap to understanding your dreams and ultimately understanding yourself. So if you don't mind
thank
telling our
you.
listeners more about it.
Do I mind? Oh,
Mhm.
twist my arm.
That's
So
right.
the new book is called Dreamifesting,
Yeah.
Harnessing the Power of Your Dreams to Create the Life You Desire.
Wow.
So this book is really the book I've been writing for the last 20 years.
Wow.
It's what's at the heart and underneath and all the subtext of everything I've done that's
Right.
pointed toward bringing dreams down to earth, making
Right.
sense of them. And I wanted to make it as accessible to people as possible, so I
Right.
created a 12-week. I
Right.
created it into a 12-week workshop that you can do
Right.
on your own or do with a
Right.
group of friends
Right.
or do with me. I have a 12-week Dreamifesting program coming
Right.
up in January.
Nice.
So that you can learn about the language of your dreams,
Right.
which I believe is all of our first language.
Mm.
We know it in our soul,
Right.
but also learn some techniques for manifesting
Right.
and learn how practical dream work is.
Right.
Dream work isn't just for people that have nothing better to do with their life. It's
Mm.
something that you can do to actually make you smarter, make you make wiser decisions,
Mm.
have better navigational acuity with your life.
Wow.
So it's very much, if anybody who's watching or listening
Right.
did the artist's way,
Mhm.
it deliberately sort of models the way that the artist way was. I did the artist way for years, over and over and over, and it
Wow.
continued to help me. And I always thought I wanted to create a book that had a similar structure
Right.
so that people could really own the material,
Right.
make it so that it's not something I wrote, so it becomes their own.
Wow. And for folks who are listening, it is such a powerful book. I have been giving it away, actually. The
Ian,
producer, Kat, we bought a few books at Barnes & Nobles, and
thank you.
it is one of the gifts that I've given folks over the holidays, because I really think that there's so much wisdom into it. And it's not a spectator sport. Like,
Right.
you have to jump into the ring and wrestle with this book to get the most out of it.
Yeah.
So that, I think, is, again, it's something that is outside of my day-to-day realm. And I'm really grateful for you for putting, 25 years of wisdom distilled into a few
I hope you'll
pages.
join me in the Dreamifesting
Yeah,
workshop.
yeah.
You
Well,
are
please,
invited. So
please,
come in.
please,
You and
please.
Kat must come,
Yeah.
and you're my guests.
Please tell folks about it.
Yeah, we start the first Thursday in January, so that's the 8th of January, and it's from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific time. We'll meet for 12 weeks in a row, and you'll begin the program by identifying what goal you want to achieve by the end of it. But it's not just about the low-hanging fruit of kind of what does your ego want, but what does your soul want. So I talk about identifying your soul goal, which is not an overnight kind of a thing, but once you identify your soul goal, you contemplate that kind of in tandem with your ego goal. So this is about your soul, but it's also about what your human self needs. You think about those things right before you go to sleep at night. For 12 weeks, by the end of the time, what people tell me when they do the Dreamifesting program is that their dream recall is off the charts. They start really hearing the voice of their subconscious mind, and it starts to become more focused and pointed because you're asking a question like you talked about when it comes to AI. Identify the question you have. So you identify a really good question that you want your dreams to support you with before you go to sleep. And then when you wake up in the morning, you run your dream through the jet set formula and you have an action plan for the day. And then I would say, go to AI then with it and ask AI, what do you think of this, to give an extra flourish, an extra affirmation, an extra punctuation mark. And then you take that into action, physical action. And then you watch things happen in miraculous ways that bring you not just into concert with the things you want, but with the underlying soul component of what it is you're really hungering for. You can have it all.
That is amazing. Producer, how much time we have left?
You're done. We're overcooked.
Somebody is here.
Oh, okay.
Getting coffee.
Oh, okay.
So you have, 5 to
5:10. Okay, cool. Well,
we love Kat, by the way. Kat Morenzi. Got to watch her TED Talk, which was so good. What was the title of your TED Talk? Unmasking?
How losing my hair revealed my real power.
Yes! Wow. How losing my hair revealed my true power. Kat with a K, Morenzi.
And folks, she will be in the hot seat soon. I know she's struggling with it, but she will be in the hot seat. So yes.
Oh, please. No struggling. No. She's amazing. Thank you for being the awesome producer.
Thanks,
The
Kat.
dream producer.
So 10 minutes.
Oh God.
for those who are just thinking about this or hearing this for the first time, people who, for the most part, live their lives in the prefrontal cortex, the 12%, as you mentioned, what are some of the steps that they can take today to help them reconnect with that 88% that they probably have been dismissing because, they're focusing on the conscious part of their life?
Well, just to get super practical, it starts at bedtime.
Okay.
So set an intention for what you'd like your dreams to help you with. Whether you remember them or not, you can...
What is an example of an intention?
So a goal that you have. I mean, if you have a book you want to write, if you've got a relationship that is challenging, if you want to lose weight, if you've got a certain health issue, if there's a certain global situation, political situation that you'd like to see changed, think about that before you go to bed, but then think about the feeling tone that accompanies that if that goal were fulfilled. So I have actually a meditation, and I'll provide it for you so that all the listeners get this.
Oh, wow.
On my website. I call it a soul goal meditation. Wow. And it's a meditation you listen to as you go to bed to help get really focused on what baton you're handing over to your dreams to help you solve.
Wow.
So that's part of it. And then when you wake up in the morning, do your very best to ask yourself, what was I just dreaming about? And like I said in my TED Talk, even if you don't remember exactly a dream, write something down that comes from those early morning thoughts, because those are genius. You're tapped into your natural genius right in that moment of awakening. Because even if you feel the foggiest and feel the most disheveled, don't have a prejudice against the wonkiness.
Right.
Wonkiness is next to godliness, I think. So write something down, any random thought you're having when you wake up in the morning. And as you're doing that, if you want to connect the dots and write a thought about how might this apply to that goal I set before I went to sleep, you'll be surprised at what comes through. So those are some easy things you can do immediately. You can read, when people, I mean, this is a shameless plug, but when people tell me they read Dreamifesting as they're going to sleep, they tend to have greater dream recall because, I mean, really, if you think about any dream-related content, if you read it before you go to sleep, you're going to start thinking about your dreams and you're going to be like, oh, I want to remember those. So that's something you can do to help you.
I want to double click on what you said about kind of embodying the feeling of when you get it.
Yes.
What is that exercise like?
So this is part of the Jet Set formula. I'll just say what it is. Just the facts, ma'am. Write it down without judgment. E is for the emotion or the energy of the dream. Identify that. The T is for the title, as if your dream were a movie. The S is for the standout symbols and what they mean to you.
Got it.
And the next E is for embodiment. So this is where you take one of those symbols. And a symbol is like for example, last night I had a dream about a wedding dress and the zipper broke on the wedding dress. So I chose to embody the person who was wearing the dress and who was freaking out that the zipper wouldn't work. So that means that I imagined that I was this person and that the zipper was mine and I could feel it. And so I was imagining. So as I was telling my husband about it, I was imagining what it would be like to be so stressed. I'm about to walk down the aisle. My dress isn't zipping up. Oh my God. And so feel it in your body, what it would be like to be the skateboard, the AI, or I don't know, AI doesn't feel that much except for the AI that you're working on, but or the glass of water. Like just allow yourself to put it in your body, feel it, and then speak from that perspective. So I am the broken zipper. And really, I will zip up for you, but you got to calm down. You have to take a moment. And that's what eventually the zipper did work.
In your dream.
In the dream, I was helping her. And I said, first you have to get so calm. And she regulated her nervous system. And then I was like, oh, look, it works now. So hello, when my world gets unzipped, instead of adding more frenzy to the frenzy, how about chill out?
Chill out,
So that's what I mean by embody the energy. And then the final T is the tangible. Do something tangible in your waking life. So that just means for me today, I don't know about this moment, but maybe maybe we can all take a moment together to just calm down and let whatever is unzipped in our life be unzipped. And maybe our calm contains the genius that will allow things to come together when it's supposed to. So that's me doing something tangible with it.
That is amazing.
That's Jet Set.
People want to find you, hunt you down. Where can they go?
I'm so easy to find. I'm a Leo, just like your producer, Kat. And just like Leo in your dream. Yes. So you can find me on my website, kellysullivanwalden.com. If you want to go straight to all things Dreamifesting, it's Dream, DREAMIFESTING.com. Facebook is Kelly Sullivan Walden Dreams. Instagram and TikTok is Kelly S. Walden. And on LinkedIn, I think I'm just Kelly Sullivan Walden.
Okay, good. Wow. So many ways to find Kelly and connect with her.
My podcast is the Dreamifesting podcast.
There you go. And I hope that you guys will be more prepared for 2026 and flow into 2026 and listen to your dreams. Wow. With that, Kelly, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ian Slade. I love you from the bottom of my heart, soul.
Likewise.
You're a dream.